There's a bit of comfort that goes along with recording an episode as opposed to going live, right? Going live, everything needs to be perfect in terms of sound, your video quality, all of that good stuff, your internet access, where recording the video kind of gives you a little bit of flexibility and some buffer, you know what I'm saying, if you have any issues. So this morning, I wanted to go live because I have honestly not a lot of time. If you're watching a video, you can see that I'm fresh to death in my work clothes. You know what I mean? I got like the button up, all of that. Typically, my typical, you know, baseball cap and t-shirt is not happening because I'm trying to bang this out first thing in the morning before work. I got my phone ringing in the background. Hold on a second. Yeah, my phone going off in the background. My wife is sending me information. So it's just a hectic time, as I have shared on the channel before, but I'll share again. I'm in the middle of preparing for a TEDx talk, which is just consuming a lot of my creative energy and flow. So, I'm doing my day job work, doing social media, obviously locked in there because I want to perform there for my employer. But then all of my spare time or extra time outside of work or my family is really committed to the TEDx talk. So I wanted to make sure I jumped on to cook up some Believe in Fantasy Basketball content because it is time. It's been a week, you know what I'm saying? We're releasing episodes midweek here in the off season, and we're really focused on NBA playoffs, NBA stories, but also WNBA. So we're going to jump right in. Welcome to Believe in Fantasy Basketball. We believe every NBA fan who plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. BetOnline is your number one source for the NBA and NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and every live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Don't forget, use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online. The game starts here. So we've been doing our Caitlin Clark watch. Let me move my microphone. I'm talking about my microwave. Get it together, Robin. Move this microphone over. And let's take a look at what's happening with the WNBA superstar, Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark, we're going to jump right into the Caitlin Clark watch. So on the 28th of May, Caitlin Clark went up against LA. She played 34 minutes, had 30 points. What? 5 rebounds, yes. 6 assists, yes. Check this out, y'all. Lean in. 3 steals and 3 blocks. Cha-ching! 7 turnovers. Heck to the no. That's a total of 56 fantasy points. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going down. It is going down. My crazy pick to draft Caitlin Clark in the first round, it's starting to warm up, y'all. It's starting to warm up. We're going to have to deal with the turnovers, but it is turning into some daggone bacon grease. Loving it. On the 25th of May, Caitlin Clark's Fever played against the Las Vegas Aces, and she had 29 minutes, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Yes, 1 steal, 0 blocks, 6 turnovers. On the 24th, she played LA again, 37 minutes, 11 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Love that. 8 assists, almost a triple-double. Love it. 4 steals. Yes. 1 block. Come on. And 2 turnovers. The turnovers lower there. Really like to see that. Then we have the 22nd of May. She had, against Seattle, she had 33 minutes, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. So one thing that we've been talking about with Caitlin Clark are the turnovers, right? With rookie guards in fantasy basketball, in real life basketball, you have to expect some growing pains when it comes to turning the ball over. It's just going to happen with a rookie point guard. However, she's making up for it in a lot of areas. You know what I'm saying? So I think that last game against LA where she dropped 30 points is a great signal for Caitlin Clark managers, but also for the WNBA as a business. Because honestly, if this young woman does well, the entire league will do well. So we want to root for her. We want her to have a good showing because she'll continue to bring light to the women's game, and that's what we're really all about this summer and beyond. This is super important. We need you to be a two-way player. What does that mean? On offense, we need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, like, share the videos, all of that good stuff. But also, we need you to spread your arms and play some defense. We need you to also listen to the audio podcast. If you don't listen to podcasts, this would be a great time to start. Our most supportive community members listen to the podcast and watch the podcast episode on YouTube. So we need you to do both. If you could do that, and if you have time, please leave us a kind review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. Now we're going to get right into the top five. Now we're going to get into the top five waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 3 of the WNBA fantasy basketball season. First up, let's take a look-see here. We got some good ones, y'all. And remember, we're just focused on players who are rostered in 50% of leagues or less. So these are the players that may be available in your league and are widely available across the ESPN platform. So the first person we're going to take a look at is also from the Indiana Fever. That is Temi Fagbeni. She is only rostered in 42.3% of ESPN leagues. Come on, man. But check this out. Over the last 7 days, she's averaging 29 minutes a game. Yes. 11 points per game. Come on. 6.8 rebounds. 1.5 assists. 0.5 steals. That's okay. But lean in for this. 1.5 blocks per game. Go grab you some Timmy. Say, gimme. No, that was really bad. I got to try harder. The better grip I have on the players' names for WNBA, the funnier I'll be. Trust me. Give me time. Give me time. Okay. So, loading up the next player here. The next player is from the Phoenix Mercury, and we are talking about none other than Natasha Mack, where if you're watching the YouTube channel, you can see that there is no picture of Natasha Mack here, which is sad, which is very, very sad. She is only rostered in 22.9% of ESPN WNBA fantasy basketball leagues. Over the last 7 days, she is averaging 21.3 minutes per game, 4 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, yes, 2 assists, 1 steal. I love this, and check this out. Yo, Natasha Mack over the last 7 days is averaging 2.7 blocks per game. Come on, man. She is standing on defensive business. But listen, this is not a fluke. This is not just the last 7 days. On the season, she's averaging 2.5 blocks per game. So this appears to be a sustainable stat. So I would definitely be looking to grab some Natasha Mack. Next up, from the Chicago Sky, who are playing really well, by the way. They look pretty good, and people didn't really have, any high hopes for them. It's really fun to see them performing. From the Chicago Sky, Dana Evans. Over the last 7 days, Dana Evans is averaging 28.7 minutes per game. Yes, 12 points, 12.7 points. 1 rebound, 3 assists, okay. 1.7 steals, pretty good. She is only rostered in 47.2% of ESPN leagues. So we got, I believe I was 1, 2, 3. Give me 1 second, folks. I think one of my players disappeared on me. I think we had one of my players disappear on me. It's okay. I'll pull it up right now and get you guys taken care of. So those are the first 3. I want to give you 2 more before we get up out of here, but I had a little bit of a technical glitch here. So I'm going to clean that up, and I'm going to get you guys what you need. Give you 1 second. And, this is good. So since the last time I grabbed this data, it looks like Timmy Fagbani is actually injured, and she's going to be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. So for Timmy, I think we need to fade Timmy. My apologies on that one. That's my bad. Oh, here's my other one. Oh, yeah, this is the one I was looking at. This is somebody you got to go out and grab. So this is number 4 on my list, and we'll replace Timmy with somebody here because that's not fair. I'm not going to give you guys an injured player. My apologies. This is Julie Van Loo from the Washington Mystics. Over the last 7 days, 25.3 points per game, 25.3 minutes per game, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 0.3 steals per game. Definitely someone you want to take a look at. Next up, we're going to go with, and she's kind of on the cusp. She's rostered in 50.2, but I'm still going to put her here on this list because she's somebody who is definitely available. I'm talking about Sophie Cunningham. Over the last 7 days, Sophie Cunningham is averaging 28.5 minutes per game, 9.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.8 steals, only rostered in 50.2% of ESPN leagues, so she is widely available. So now I'm going to give you a replacement for Timmy because, again, I apologize. I grabbed this list of players last night, woke up this morning, the girl is injured, so we're going to get you a fair replacement for her right to the now. And I think I may have found my winner, and I'm going to share it with you right now. And we're talking about from the Minnesota Lynx, Bridget Carlton. Over the last 7 days, Bridget Carlton is averaging 27 minutes per game. You know what I say, if people get playing time, that will equate to some fantasy value. So these are the people you want to look at. Over the last 7 days, 6.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.8 steals, and 0.5 blocks. Bridget Carlton is definitely the type of player you want to grab off of the waiver wire. Again, I'm sorry about the issue with Timmy. She got injured. It sucks, but I definitely gave you 6 there instead of 5 to make up for it. Attention collectors and sports enthusiasts. Discover Drip, your ultimate online shopping space for collectibles and sports cards. Sign up using our link, bit.ly/drip250. That's bit.ly/DRIP250. And receive, check this out, up to $250 in credit for free. Crazy, right? No strings attached. You join the community and they give you, up to $250, and you can actually go and spend that immediately. Join the Drip community today and enhance your collection without breaking the bank. Don't miss out. Claim your free credit now while this offer lasts. Drip, where every purchase tells a story. Sign up today at bit.ly/drip250. So NBA playoffs are going down. The Boston Celtics have advanced to the finals. No surprise. The Indiana Pacers were like totally decimated by injuries, right? So it wasn't anything to be super excited about. But it is worth noting that Jaylen Brown did win the MVP for the East, the Larry Bird Trophy, which is a big deal because according to his words, he never wins anything, right? And people don't really look at Jaylen Brown as being one of the top guards in the league, which to me is kind of a disservice to what he brings to the table. Although his regular season stats are not on the same level as some of the other people that we consider to be the stars, for example, your Anthony Edwards, Devin Bookers of the world, Jaylen Brown is solid. And one thing that people don't talk about enough is that he is a lockdown defender, you know? So I think that him getting that award is a big deal, but people are saying that Jason Tatum was jealous, which is insane to me. Come on, guys. Like, we out here, we will, like, grab onto anything that we can find to create some kind of narrative. Like, listen, I'm a native New Yorker and a long-time Boston Celtics hater. Like, hater. Let me get a sip of my coffee because you got to hear this story. I'm a long-time Boston Celtics hater. And it's not because, you know, I have anything personal against Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. This is like a historical hate that I have for the Boston Celtics as a native New Yorker. I always thought it was a lot of fluff, right? New Yorkers and people from Boston don't like each other. Like, don't come to our city to watch the game. You're going to get in a fight, all of that kind of stuff. Like, we'll jump you if you come here and root for the Yankees, right? So I'm in Boston. This is probably the early 2000s, right? Early 2000s, Jay-Z is still hot, right? Crazy, like old school. So I'm in this airport doing like a transfer. At the time, I was traveling overseas, and my flight connection was in Boston for some reason. So I have a bunch of time to kill, maybe 3 hours to kill. So what do? I go to a airport bar in Boston. At the time, the Knicks had made it back to the playoffs, and Carmelo Anthony was on the team. They were going up against Garnett and them boys, I believe. So I'm watching the game, you know, with a Yankees hat. I had a beige Yankees cap with purple stitching on it. Really dope, right? And I'm chilling there, proud to be a New Yorker, like not sweating nothing, just watching the game. So the bartender gets my drink. I'm eating wings, doing the 1-2 step. And then all of a sudden, Carmelo Anthony does something remarkable. So as a normal basketball fan, what do? Good job, Melo. Like, yeah. Like, yes. Do you know what this daggone bartender told me? You won't believe it. This bartender looks me in the eye, taps the table a little bit, and he's like, hey, we don't do that here. So for me, I understand the Boston-New York rivalry, so I kind of like looked at it like that. Like, oh, I'm in Boston. Sorry, can't root for the Knicks. Ha, ha, ha. And I kind of laughed it off. I was like, all right, he's joking. Like, this can't be, like, real, right? Right? You can't be. Like, this is a professional setting. You are at work. And this is just basketball. I'm just passing through. I'm a visitor here. So you got to be joking. But when I tell you, this guy said, we don't do that here. Okay, cool. So a couple minutes later, and I had that in my mind, and I don't know if you subconsciously or even consciously have ever been in a space where you had something that you weren't sure if you could do or not, but you wanted to test the boundaries to see if it was real. So something happened again, and I remember being like, oh, I'm about to clap and see what he does now. Let's go Knicks. When I tell you, top was off, boobies was out, hair blowing in the wind, convertible status. This dude was not playing. He walked over to me and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the extent of, tapped the table again and said, "Sir, if you do that again, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." What? Where they do that at? What? So for me, I'm looking at it like, okay, so he's clearly serious. I'm in Boston, and if I remember correctly, when I'm at this bar, when he said that to me, he said it at a volume where it was within earshot of people around the bar. And I remember kind of looking over like to see if like other people were watching this. And I remember one of the other patrons looked at me and was kind of like he didn't like look happy to see me. It was almost like he was looking at my beige Yankees hat with the purple threads like, you think you fresh? What, you from Harlem? Like what? So I look around the bar and I'm like, these guys are serious. Like, are you gonna fight me in the airport? Like this is crazy, yo. So right then I had a decision to make. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna like really push back, or am I gonna catch my flight? So for me, at that moment in time, I made the commitment that I was gonna secretly and quietly cheer for the Knicks. I didn't put in a complaint against this guy because I'm a sports fan. So more than anything, I had a ton of respect for him to be so committed to his team that he'd be willing to sacrifice his job for it. He did not give a shih tzu puppy. So, finals are set. In the West, we got a few more games left. Hopefully a few more. Hopefully Minnesota can extend the series. But it seems like we're going to have a Dallas and Boston finals. So I want to make sure we're clear on this. If you listen to the podcast, we want you to watch the podcast. If you watch the podcast, we want you to listen to the podcast. If you don't listen to podcasts, please start now. This is an amazing time to start listening. You can do it in your car, when you work out, all of that good stuff. And if you're watching a YouTube video, please check out this playlist to see what we've been cooking up this summer. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline. The game starts here.